wait to do this. Now let me tell you what I'm doing for my little sister. It's my belief that when you have any form of abundance, and abundance doesn't always have to be money, but when you have any extra and you know that you can offer to help someone else, to just even relieve some stress for them, I think that it's our duty to at the very least make that offer. If they choose to accept it, that's on them. If not, then hey, at least you did offer it. I think that abundance is meant to be shared. And so for me, as you can see, I've got boxes.
A dip in the vagina, something. Give without expecting anything. I will say this, the older Caucasian gentlemen that helped me on SCORE were much different than the black male entrepreneurs who attempted to help me by really trying to help themselves. This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. So on that note, I'm gonna get out of this video. I want to hear your thoughts below, and how can we fix this? I'm done talking. I'm out of here. Tanya TKO, and I'm out. Go out there and love one another. Most importantly, love yourself. And part of loving yourself is, what is the underpinning example of self-love in here? Part of loving yourself is realizing that there is no separation between you and other people. That there is no us and them. That there is no... that person asking you is a reflection of you. What is it that you do with that? What is it that you do? And I want to apologize to about 3 or 4 people asked me what type of program I use to do the side-by-side, and I couldn't really give them a good answer because I don't have a good program. So I apologize to the people who I really couldn't answer. So listen, because I don't want to promote a product that's really not doing it well for me anyway. I'm sorry, I'm so frustrated. Listen, I will talk with you all in the comments below.
Listen, you know what the fuck I hate? You see somebody that you know running a business and you want to do the same thing. So you ask them what steps did they take? And it's mainly our fucking race. I'm just going to call it how I see it. Because they don't want you to compete with them. But it's enough money for everybody, bitch. So I got a friend. I'm asking. I'm like, yo, I want to start a business. How can you do it? Because she's successful. Well, Jess, it's a lot of hard work, you know? Okay. But like more specifically, how did you make it happen? Like, what did you do? I dedicated everything I had, you know, I committed, you know. But more specifically, what did you have to go through? Like, it's gonna be a lot of long nights, a lot of sleepless days, you know. Bitch, that sounds like a heartbreak. I'm talking about the steps. Who did you call? How did you get started? Specifically, since that's how black people understand specifically. Specifically, who did you call? Jesus. Believe it or not, Jess, Jesus and God were the only 2 people I called. They were the only ones to help me through this. Well, bitch, what's their numbers? Because I ain't getting nowhere with you.
You know, part of me understands where she's coming from because I used to actually think the same thing. But let me just offer a different perspective real quick. Let's say you go to 15 years of school and understudying and job shadowing and all of that to become a neurosurgeon. And somebody just comes up to you and says, hey, teach me how to do surgery. How do you do that? Like, specifically, how do you do it? Or more realistically, let's say you open up a restaurant, right? And you spent your last dime to open up that restaurant. And whenever you finally get it open, somebody comes in and says, yo, give me the hookup. Give me some free food. Let me get that. That's the exact same thing whenever you go up to a successful business owner and you say specifically, lay out the steps it took for you to start that business, or how do you run this business? Like, physically saying, give me the hookup is the exact same thing as intellectually saying, give me free information that may have taken you years and losses and tears and all of that to earn and to come up with. But here's the thing, like, in the same way, whenever you got a successful restaurant, you don't mind helping people in need. You know, you don't mind helping people at random just to show love, but there's a limit to that. Like, you can't help everybody. And you especially don't want to help people who have any kind of sense of entitlement whenever they come into your place of business. And if somebody asks you something, but they don't give you the freedom to say no, at least without attacking your character on the back end and saying that you just afraid to compete, or you think there ain't enough money to go around, there's clearly some sense of entitlement there. But the right way to go up to somebody and ask for information, especially if you're talking about a successful business owner, is to ask if they offer consultations. Can you buy them lunch at least? Do they have any books? Or maybe, offer to exchange information that also may be helpful to them, just to show respect for what they may be able to offer you. And then accept whatever they do or don't give you, because they really don't owe you anything. Granted, I'm not saying that if you need help in your business or if you ask an entrepreneur for help in their business, like you're entitled, you're just a bad person. I really think the problem is we live in a day and age where information is so freely given, and because right then and there it's nothing, you know, it costs them nothing to tell you something, so we automatically think it didn't cost them much to acquire that information. But let me tell you something, a lot of people think that entrepreneurs are out here depressed and going crazy or committing suicide because money don't buy happiness, when that's partly the truth. But the other part to that truth is entrepreneurship is just hard. Like you put your heart, your soul, your last dime towards something just to finally see whenever you launch it, people don't support it, or somebody done stole your concept, or the one mistake that you made from your naivety caused your whole business to come crashing down. Now you got your family, your friends, your exes, your enemies, and everybody else looking at you like you a failure. On top of that, you more broke than whenever you first started, so you got to figure that out. Add kids to the mix who are dependent on you, and here comes the anxiety. Here comes the frustration. And whenever you finally get over that hump, whenever you finally figure it out, all the information, the lessons that you learn have that much more value, not just because of what the money is that it's saving you and what it's making you, but also because of what you went through to get that. So whenever somebody comes up and says intellectually, gimme, 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 it's damn near an insult. So like before we approach people and we say, you know what, if you don't tell me what I want to know from you, it means you don't think there's enough money and success to go around. Let's first make sure we approaching them with the appropriate amount of respect of what it may have taken for them to earn the information that we want from them. Because that ain't no friendly talk about what happened on your favorite reality show or who scored the most points last night. That's a business consultation that apparently you're expecting for free. Again, it's not strictly about the money. Like maybe they didn't have the time, or maybe they didn't have the energy, or maybe you didn't approach them the right way out the gate, and had you done that, they would have been willing to help you. But if they did not, they still wouldn't be wrong for it. And if you're thinking to yourself, it ain't even that serious, it ain't even that deep, then they rightfully chose not to waste their energy on you because clearly you don't value it.
God. I couldn't wait for that to be over. I couldn't wait. God. Let me just breathe. I'm Tanya TKO, self-love specialist from TanyaTKO.com. I hope you learn how to love yourself and each other. This program has crashed so many times just trying to get this video done that I'm like, if I don't do this now, I'm not going to do it. So I'm in my workout clothes. Forgive that, but let's talk about this. You know, different vloggers have their different fan base, and different people flock to people that they resonate with. So I can imagine that the people who flock to, what's this, Jackson, that they will resonate with this message. And he's so angry for some reason in this message. Like his anger is just like, is profound. It's like dripping through the computer. Breast all shaking in the camera and everything. That was inappropriate of me. But for real though, I want to give a special shout out to Antoine, who sent me Just Hilarious's video, and a special shout out to Rahel, who sent me Derek Jackson's follow up on the video, because last week I did a live video where I was talking about the problem with Black people is that when we become entrepreneurs, we don't reach back and help the people coming up underneath us without wanting to be a succubus to that person coming behind us, without wanting to use them for our own gain, without wanting to use them for dates or sex, without wanting to use them for any number of things, right? And then I get sent this video. God. First of all, Just Hilarious is a comedian, but there is some truth to what it is that she's saying, because I was talking about this the other day. She said friend. She has a friend that she spoke to, and she asked her friend, how did you do it? What did you do? Who did you? Asking her different questions, and the friend is like, oh, it was hard. Oh, this and that. Oh, Jesus is who I. And then you know, she ends it on the punchline of let her call Jesus. Here comes Derek Jackson talking about if you become a neurosurgeon and somebody comes up to you asking you how you did it. He said it's the exact same thing, that you can help people in need or random folks, a sense of entitlement. This is the thing that really bugs me. Sense of entitlement? This is a friend you're talking about. You damn right your friend is entitled to information from you. You damn right. This is a friend. We're not talking about random people. We're not talking about becoming a neurosurgeon and somebody come up in that hospital and say, how did you become a neurosurgeon? No, we're talking about a friend. And see, this is part of the problem, and this is why black people stay losing. Let me calm down because I'm angry now. This is why black people stay losing. And it's like, I can't expect new money people to understand the habits and patterns of people with generational wealth. You know, when I was in New York, you know what, you know what, I'm going to talk about my landlord. But before we get into that, different people are different. Some people have a generous spirit and the spirit of giving. Now, I can't criticize Derek Jackson for his business prowess or whatever, because Derek Jackson in the social media realm is more successful than I am. His videos hit harder than mine do. They get more views. He makes more money from social media stuff than I do. Just from looking at his mere numbers. I don't know what his expenses are like and all of this, blah, 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 blah. But I know that he's more successful online. So apparently he's doing something right? I remember I approached Derek. How many of you have ever written Derek a letter? I don't know if he writes